Hello, everybody. My name is Phil Wilcox. Welcome to another English session here at AimHi. This is going to be a bit of an unusual English session because this kind of live lesson is going to be a writing workshop. It's going to be a little bit of a writing workshop where we're going to be writing a poem. But before we get started with that, you'll need a few things. You will need a glass of water, you'll need a pen, and you need a piece of paper. So if you haven't already got them, get them now. But before we begin, this is a session which I've titled How to Write a Painfully Honest Poem. And the reason that I've titled it that is because for a long time, actually, no, I'm jumping ahead. Maybe you can guess. So as a way for a few people to join the chat, maybe you can help me out. I've got a few things on the screen here. I've got a really cool spy. I've got a belly button. I've got ethylene, and I've got me delivering a poem when I had longer hair and was a bit younger. So can anyone tell me what ethylene, a spy, and a belly button and poetry all might have in common? What do you reckon, guys? Let me know in the chat line. What do all four of these things have in common? It relates to the topic as well, how to write a painfully honest poem. Hey, cool, phew. I was worried there was no one out there. Japan Maple, it's always good to see you. I always try and imagine what you all are like from your names. And Japan Maple, I just imagine you somewhere very, very cold all the time and rugged up. I don't know if that's true. Hello, Age of Jess. Age of Jess, good to see you again. And Xenon994, hello. Roz01, hey. Legit, so many people are here. Cool, great. I think we can properly get started now. I set a very, very hard question. What do these four things on your screen have in common? Xenon994 said circles. Yeah, interesting. Japan Mabel said, yes, I'm always in blankets and jumpers. Circles. Okay, there's a circle. I see that. A circle over here with the ethylene. There's a circle with the belly button. Maybe, I don't know, circular faces for both of us. It's not circles. That's not the thing I'm going for. I'm going to give you another clue. And I'm just going to write one word. Maybe this helps you out. Maybe you know what this word is. It's a place. What do you reckon? Rebecca Carmen, you don't need to apologize for being late. It's all good. Great to have you. So that's the fifth one. That's the fifth little clue. Delphi. Okay, Get Out of the Freezer said oracles. Yes, it does have to do with oracles. In ancient Greece, there was a place called Delphi, and Delphi was the site of an oracle. Now, the oracle was a woman, but archaeologists think it was a series of women who would take turns, who resided in the caves in Delphi, and people from all across the land, and by the land I mean Greece, but also places outside of Greece, would come to Delphi for guidance on a certain type of issue. And they would sit down with this woman, and they would say, we have a question for you. And the oracle would then go into a fit, would often would be a bit euphoric and really quite intense. Often there's reports of babble coming out, and then that would be interpreted by a priest who would then relay what the oracle said but would say it in poetry, and it was considered to be divine inspiration from the gods, the ultimate truth. So the oracle at Delphi was said to predict things that would happen in the future, but often they would just say things that were true at the time. Now, what do all of these things have in common? Well, obviously, we have poetry, because the poetry over here, this is me giving a poem. Prophet Phil, yes. The high priest would give the poem and give the prophecy in poetry form. But actually, it was considered, Delphi was called the navel or the belly button of the world. And that was said to be because when Zeus, the king of the gods, was trying to find out where was the exact center of the world, he released 2 eagles on either sides of the world, and when they met in the middle, it was at Delphi. And Delphi was said to be very sacred because it was almost like belly button has a umbilical cord that connects to the baby after it's born, and it was said like this kind of navel, this belly button of the world, was the meeting point of the gods and humans. And so that's why oracle and prophecy could happen in the middle, because it was sort of like a slippery kind of like in-between place. And there's said to be navels of the world all over the place. You know, in ancient myths, there's navels of the world in a whole bunch of different cultures. Wow, we got a lot of chat in here. Let's say, imagine meeting a god at your belly button. Yeah. So if he's trying to find the center of the world, does that make him a flat earther? That's a really good question. I think he might be, because I'm just trying to think. The Greeks, I'm not sure how flat earther they were in their beliefs. Maybe Matthew can help you out there. That's a whole thing, because maybe the ancient Greeks, there's a lot of history there, there's multiple hundred years, and there's lots of different groups, and maybe at different times I don't know. I want to know that. I don't know. That's interesting. So it was the belly button of the world. But actually, the reason that these prophets could give such accurate prophecies, and they were sometimes scarily so, was because they had spies. And they had spies, and they were very well connected throughout the ancient world, and they would find out what's happening. And archaeologists have surmised that they found out what was sort of happening, relay it back to the person giving the prophecy. And the reason that they would do that, does anyone know why they might do that? Let me know in the chat line. Why would they have spies to find out what was happening in the empire? There's 2 reasons. The first one, maybe I've alluded to, so they could give an accurate prophecy. But why do you think, what was the second reason? Because they can't go too far? Mm-hmm. They thought it was... they thought it was a square with the 4 corners. Wow, did you do some research? Thank you, get out of the freezer. They could get many sources of information. Yes. The second reason is many different Greek nations would come to them, and they would often have questions like, should I go to war? But Delphi, the site of Delphi was kind of smack bam in the middle of Greece, and they had a vested interest in war not happening. And so they wanted to know what was happening around Greece so they could give really smart advice that was in the interests of Delphi. So it was kind of a bit selfish as well, but also they just wanted peace a lot of the time. So that was another reason. But then archaeologists have found all these crazy things in the caves around Delphi, these volcanic rifts, and there's 3 main ones that all emit a hydrocarbon gas, including one which emitted ethylene. And ethylene has many properties. Does anyone know what ethylene does? It's not that harmful to humans. Does anyone know what it does? Specifically, what it does to fruit? Oh, Aldika, I didn't see that. What did you say? I can't see. Let me see that. Is that not just ethene? I don't know. Yes, it makes it go bad. Well done. Yes, it makes it go bad. It makes it ripen quicker. The molecule is ethene, not ethylene. Thank you. I'm not a scientist. I just write poems. So, ethene or ethylene. Thank you for helping out there. Makes fruit go bad or go bad quickly, but it also can have a narcotic and euphoric effect on humans, which means that maybe archaeologists have thought that the kind of frenzied state that these priestesses, these oracles went in when they delivered their prophecy might have actually been from the gases. It might not have. It might have. We don't know for sure. It's a really beautiful theory, and that's what all four of these things have in common. And the reason I bring this up is because so often truth, capital T truth, almost divine truth, has historically been linked to poetry. And not the sort of truth that Matthew Shribman talks about, or the truth of getting to the facts and trying to work things out and maybe know your ethylene from your ethene. But the truth that tries to get rid of some of the that tries to get to the core of something and say something in a way that we haven't ever seen before. And this is what that masterclass is all about. We're going to be writing painfully true things about different topics, and we're going to put them all together as a poem. Now, we're going to have to do this all together. This is going to be a group activity, so I need a lot of love on the chat line. Oh man, I'm just going to catch up on a few things that you guys say. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I had internet problems. No worries, Frostby. I was going to say it was a hallucinogen. Yeah. I heard that Indian gurus use that for meditation. Wow, that's so interesting. I didn't know that. You guys bring so much cool, interesting stuff to the chat. I didn't know that. That's super interesting if that's true. Yeah. Thank you for your fact checking. I'm not a fact checker. That's not what I'm about, but I love that there are people who are fact checking. So we're going to write a poem now. So first up, you need a pen and paper. And definitely what you need for this activity, and if you haven't got it yet, I want you to go and get it now. Absolutely, you need this. You need a glass of water. You need a pen and paper and a glass of water, because we're going to be writing a painfully honest poem. And for each of these lines, I want you to write your line in the chat, and I'm going to choose the best line in order to go into our poem. So I really want you to dig deep and say something true. And when we say something true that feels dangerous because it's true, or feels like, whoa, I've never even heard it said like that, or is an interesting take on something, or it's just personal to you, there can be real power there. So I hope you got your pen and paper. I hope you've got your glass of water handy. And if you see any lines that you like in the chat, I want you to write them down for yourself. This is going to be a group poem, so we're going to borrow from each other as much as possible to construct a poem. Don't worry about rhyming or anything like that. I just want you to write down lines as we go. Okay. Oh, get out of the freezer. I just absolutely zoomed to my kitchen to get one. Love it. All right. Get your water. Okay. I shall use the notepad. Okay. Here we go. We're going to start off with a writing activity, and that I call Cup of Truth. The way Cup of Truth works is we don't have ethylene gas, and we might not be Delphic oracles, but we're going to drink all together a little sip from the cup of truth. And then I'm going to give us a topic, and I want you to say a true thing about it. Are you ready? Here we go. We're drinking. Dogs. So my one is going to be, dogs are better people than people are people. What's your dangerous truth about dogs? Write it down in the chat line. Let me know, and if I really like it, I'm going to choose it and I'm going to put it into a poem. So the first one is dogs. Hopefully you have all written a line for dogs. I spilled so much water running up the stairs to get back. Dogs. So my first one was, dogs are better people than people aren't people. Well, that's an interesting one. Dogs can feel that we have bones under our skin. I like that. I like that a lot. Harder to leave than your first home. Yeah, they are what wildcats will become. Ooh, I like that line. Cats are better than dogs. Interesting. Okay, let's go back now. Everyone go back to your glass of water. Take another sip. And our next one is money. What are you going to write for money? So I'm going to say, money is a catalyst. It speeds up whatever's already there. That's what I'm going to say about money. Money is a catalyst. It speeds up whatever is already there. Okay. Someone says, all I'm singing is ABBA, to be honest. Yeah, no, that's fair. So what do you think on money? You've sipped from the cup of truth. What are you going to put for money? Corruption in the form of paper, which can destroy or create lives. When people say vote with your wallet as a defense of capitalism, they're admitting that rich people have more political influence than regular people. Yeah, that's probably true. Oh man, some great stuff. I like it. I like it. Some really good stuff here. I'm gonna see. What do we have? If you haven't told already, I'm writing a poem as we go. Okay. The next one. Are you ready to take a sip? The next one is going to be after our cup of truth, dessert. A true line about dessert, or I think, what do they call it in the UK? They call it like pudding. In Australia we call it dessert, but dessert, pudding. One true thing about it. What's gonna be mine? Oh, I gotta think of one. Dessert is a fine art. You take one S out of it and you're left with dry sand. That's my line about dessert. What about you guys? Let me know. Let me know. Dessert. Hopefully you've drunk from the cup of truth. Dessert is stress backwards. I love that. I mean, it's not though, is it? It's Trezsid. It's not stressed at all. I mean, is it an anagram? Ooh, dessert is what we use to fill the extra hole inside of it. Get out of the freezer. I love that. You guys are pretty good at this. What else have we got? If you dessert, you dessert your happy food. Really tasty. Also, the line can just be out of the freezer. Yeah! Get out of the freezer. Get your dessert out of the freezer. I like that. Okay, let's see what else we have now. The next one, take a sip, everyone. Cup of truth. And the next word is, well, it's two words, but the ocean. What is something true about the ocean? Dangerously true. Oh, I should have thought of ones before this, but you know, I'm fair. I'm doing it alongside with you. The ocean. Say something true about the ocean. Look at your water. What does it remind you of? I'm gonna say How many gallons of giant squid pee are in the Pacific? It's not really a truth statement. It's just a question. But yeah, I'd like to know that. What's your true thing about the ocean? Hopefully it's better than my one. Let's see. What have we got? Oh, I hate it because it. Oh, frostbite, you hate it. Oh, but the animals are great. Yes. Japan maple's really hungry now. You can smell it before you see it. Xenon 994. It's not completely disgusting yet. I think we've still got time. It feels like it's infinite. Wow, that's cool. I like that. Nice. Some really good ones there. Let's see our last one. No, wait, I think we've got two more. Okay, the last one is going to be, everyone take a sip. Cup of truth. Ready for our next one? Pew! Justice. Ooh, justice. Bit of a hard one. Let me know what's your thing about justice. Some cool facts about the ocean. But what is the core truth of the ocean? Remember, that's what we're going for. We're going for the core truth of something in a dangerous way, flipping it on its head. Not just one little aspect, but like all of it. Justice is like beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. Ooh. Unfortunately, maybe frostbite, you're right. Wow. Some really, really good stuff here, guys. Okay. And the last one, we call for justice. Justice is what, get out of the freezer. Justice is what people use to fuel their deepest desires for the world to be fair when it never is. And unfortunately, I think you're right, Xenon 994, the thing that everyone desires, but only people with special rights can snatch it. Oh, yeah. Look, we're gonna keep going. We got one last one to go. Can everybody take a sip of water? Oh, it's going down. Cup of truth. And the last one. Oh wait. Two more to go. This is the second last one. Something true about dirt. Now, don't give me a fact about dirt. I know that Matthew Shribman has lots of cool facts about dirt. He loves soil. He loves dirt. Don't do that. Give me something poetically true about dirt. Not a fact about it, but maybe something like dirt is something that holds us together. Oh no, that's pretty lame. What about dirt is just living? No. Dirt is the calloused skin of a giant sphere of magma bubbling away. Cup of truth. Dirt is every child's best friend. See, that's really good. Is you want to keep away, but we need it to live. That's a good one from Get Out of the Freezer. Cool. Okay, there's some good ones there. Some really good ones there. The last one. Okay, everyone, I want you to take a sip. The last one from the Cup of Truth is cats. Who cares about lockdown? Is cats. Okay. My one is going to be cats are just reincarnated evil Egyptian pharaohs. That's going to be my one. What's your true statement on cats? It's a great one. Great ones. What else? Cats is... Okay. Okay. All right, we're ready for our poem. All right. Are you ready, guys? This is a poem that you have created, that I have transcribed, and I'm going to read it out now for us. Apologies if your one didn't get it. I was just trying to go as we went. So here we go. The way we're going to do this poem is I'm going to link it with one phrase everybody knows. So everybody knows, dogs know we have bones under our skin. Everybody knows money isn't the root of all evil, it's just a piece of paper. Everybody knows dessert is the lover of the tongue and the murderer of the tooth. Everybody knows you can smell the ocean before you see it. Everybody knows justice is something only a few people snatch. Everybody knows you aim high for the stars but end up in the dirt. Everybody knows that Cats 2019 is a cinematic masterpiece. Guys, congratulations. That was your poem. Now, in order to write a poem, all you do is you have to say a collection of painfully true things, maybe about one topic, maybe about lots of topics, and join them somehow in a way. So what I did there is I used the lyrics from Leonard Cohen's song Everybody Knows. It's a common line that repeats over and over, and I just used it as my refrain or my chorus, and I linked all of these true things that you guys wrote, and I put it together and created a poem by you guys, for you guys. Now, I could take it now and edit it and make it neat and make it flow, maybe make it rhyme, but essentially, we just wrote a poem. You can write a poem too. This poem was called Everybody Knows. It's a great way of writing a painfully honest poem, and who knows, maybe a prophetic poem. My name's Phil Wilcox. You guys have been great. Never trust a poet. See you later.